Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of DK versus MUFC. DK on the Radiant, MUFC on the Dire. This is the Beyond the Summit World Tour, and, well, it was a pretty strong performance in game number 1 for MUFC. They take that game, and now they have a 1-0 advantage, looking to close this out. DK looking to force it to a game number 3. I am LD of dotacommentaries.com. Joining me, of course, is godz. And godz, for me, the takeaway from that game is DK just seems stronger and more comfortable when Bernie is a hard carry. Not sure if you agree, but what are you expecting to see in this game? Will DK go for a similar strategy? Any sort of adjustments you're expecting? What would you like to see them do?
I agree they do tend to do better with a more late game oriented strategy, at least to have some kind of some more supports as well as semi carries that scale towards the late game. I mean, you see what MUFC had. They had the Invoker, heroes like Queen of Pain can actually do well in the late game, whereas Brewmaster, it's all about the mid game. There's no potential to sort of have a strong mid game and then still a strong, maybe not quite as strong late game. DK, the longer that game went, their lineup phased out. They had squishy supports as well as a Brewmaster who wasn't doing what was needed. They can either go for that hard carry on Burning, which is sort of the anti-mage being his trademark one. They'll pick up a DK, the Dragon Knight as well, if they want to go for a mid-game sort of more push-oriented strategy, but still with a hard carry, or Morphling, another great option. So we'll see if they go that route. I at least think they need to pick up some solos as well as sort of supports that can scale well into the late game, because that tends to be where they find themselves, especially against a strong early game team like MUFC.
Yeah, even something like a Beastmaster, you know, something that gives your carry a little bit of extra oomph and an ultimate that's going to be really good for locking down those semi-carries, those kind of early to mid-game heroes that DK like to go, or that MUFC like to go for. I think that would help out DK a lot. We'll have to see where they go. I mean, Bounty Hunter is another hero that can sort of give you that that option, not in terms of his late game potential, but gives the whole team more gold. And well, it felt like DK needed that gold. They were at pretty much all stages of the game. We couldn't actually see the gold graph, but just from the item progressions, the way DK was playing, it was obvious they were very far behind in that department. Another hero that we've seen that I think could work for DK is the Lone Druid, a very strong laning hero. If they want to pick up him and maybe another semi-carry, something like that, gives them a bit of push too. But I mean, it's not what you expect. With DK, you expect burning on that hard carry. The anti-mage, the more.
Yeah.
You know,
and
would they pick it early? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, and game 1 to game 2, the bans haven't really changed all that much, so we could likely see MUFC going for something quite similar here. Last game, Shadow Demon was the first pick for MUFC. That's a deterrent to picking anti-mage. It's not a deterrent to picking hard carries in general. Well, to some extent it is, because you get the illusions which can provide some additional disable as well as damage for the other team. And it's something that could be a concern for DK. I don't think they'll first pick a Shadow Demon. We'll see what they want to go for this game. Last game, I think it was something like a Shadow Shaman. I can't remember their first. Shadow Shaman and Invoker first. No, Invoker, sorry, what I'm talking about. Invoker was on the MUFC, but DK had Shadow Shaman and Brewmaster maybe as their first 2 picks. It was something a bit unconventional, at least for the Dota 2 metagame, I felt.
Yeah, I mean, you know, now that you point it out that way, I mean, we talked about how Shadow Demon can deal with those heroes, but it's DK that love to run anti-mage or Morphling, so against them, it's actually a pretty brilliant way to draft. It discourages that pick. I mean, DK had their option to pick it up. They didn't go for those hard carries. This time around, though, it is DK having the first pick, but would they really pick a Shadow Demon first? I would be surprised to see that. I don't think it's something DK would do. But, you know, I've been surprised before. I've been wrong before. You mentioned Outworld Destroyer as a hero that MUC have been known to run in the past, a hero they have, you know, had a lot of success with when Nick plays it. I mean, Templar Assassins look good. No, it's the Rubik again for DK. They're really valuing this Rubik.
That's what they first picked last game of the Shadow Shaman. The Brewmaster came in third, and this is the hero that it is quite versatile. I think it's an alright as a first pick. It didn't really work out too well for them last game just because of some great play by Nick in the mid lane with Templar Assassin. Will MUFC go for something similar again this game? I mean, DK can always put the Rubik in a different lane or at least have a better way of shutting down the Templar Assassin this game, I feel, or have some kind of hard carry farming it up. So Rubik, they still allows them to go for that hard carry. We'll see if they want to go for a Brewmaster once again, but I feel that was the pick where they kind of went wrong. So MUFC immediately going with something that worked last game. Shadow Demon and Invoker. I feel that MUFC are going to learn from their mistakes as well. I don't think we'll see that side lane solo Invoker. I think that's going to be planning to maybe go into that middle or safe lane, depending if they go for a Templar Assassin. But the Shadow Demon Invoker combo is something that everyone loves to see. The disruption into a Sunstrike with the Soul Catcher can do so much damage. and provide a gank from any lane. You don't actually have to be there to actually gank those lanes.
And you know, the best thing about it is it's automatic damage too. I mean, it's very hard to mess that combo up because the disruption sets up the Sunstrike so well, and then the pure damage being buffed up by more pure damage. Well, what's better than pure damage? Pure damage squared. So it's a good combo for MUFC. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how DK go with their next two picks. You're up against a lineup for MUFC that they're already sort of they're suggesting a bit of a. It's likely to be an Exhort Invoker. It just seems like it fits MUFC's style better, and if they're going for that build, which they're likely to do, it means they're going for that aggressive early to mid game, going for the early hero kills. You know, the Sunstrike ganks, the disruption set up for it, and you know, maybe a hero like Nightstalker on top of it. You could see something like a Bounty Hunter as well. Sort of those semi carries, those mid game aggressors. If they go for that, what do you want? Well, you want defense. And DK get two heroes that are great defensively. Venomous Gale as well as Ward's good for stopping tower dives, particularly the Gale, and the Windrunner so difficult to bring down. So already, I like this lineup a lot better for DK.
Yeah, I think the Windrunner pick, that's something that MUFC banned out in the second stage last game. It's something that they wanted to have picked up this time around. So I like the Windrunner pick. I think it fits in well with DK's style. It's strong in the mid game and also scales well going to the late game. We'll see what kind of carry or semi-carry they go for. If they do, in fact, want to go for it. I definitely think they need to pick up either something like well, they don't want the Anti-Mage against the Shadow Demon, or even worried about maybe a Morphling because of the illusions being made of a farmed up Morphling, but they could always go for a Queen of Pain. Something like that can just scale well, dominate the mid game, and then have an effect on the late game as well. Go for that BKB build into a Sheepstick, then get even some right-click damage. So I feel DK needs to start considering how they take this to the late game, because, I mean, they haven't even got a strong pushing lamp to win it early on.
They do have a lot of anti-push, though. That's something they will excel at. So it's not going to be too easy for MUFC to get towers. Once you get some points in the power shot, of course, we've seen Fade Bolt and the wards very good for shutting out pushes. So DK, strong defensively, but like you said, not a whole lot of offensive firepower, especially in that push department. A hero that would add a lot is a Beastmaster, so that's an option for them if they want to pick him up. They could also go for the hard carry. Morphling is still available, as well as Anti-Mage, so they have their pick of the litter here. And I'm just sort of perusing the heroes. Another hero that we could see for MUFC is Clinks. And I actually think in this game, up against these three heroes, Clinks could be devastating, because all three of these heroes are very weak against a quick Orchid. They're very reliant on their spells to do damage, to survive. And you know, MUFC, they have the heroes. If they want to run a Clinks, they could definitely fit them into this lineup.
Yeah, Clinks is, I mean, that's a hero MUFC will pick on occasion. I mean, Templar Assassin's still in the pool, so's the OD, so's the Clinks. And I think those three heroes are sort of the kinds of heroes that MUFC love as sort of strong lane control and strong mid to late game dominance, as just as pure right-click damage. So we'll see where they want to head with these last couple of bans before they pick up those heroes. I mean, at this point, what are they worried about? Are they worried about the hard carries? I feel like time and time again, they're leaving the Anti-Mage in the pool. They're leaving the Morphling there. It's almost like MUFC prefer to go up against those hard carries. So part of me thinks they're not going to ban them. Last game was banning out the Windrunner, maybe even a ban on the Brewmaster. I mean, they did well against it last game. This game, they've got the Tide Hunter, so slightly less lockdown, but they're going to ban the Bounty Hunter. I think it's just an interesting ban. I think it works because it is a hero. DK, while not having used it regularly, it's strong. It's sort of a semi-carry utility hero that can be annoying to verse, especially as an invis option for that top lane. And he doesn't need a lot of farm. That's different. Bounty Hunter doesn't need much farm. The Broodmother did need a lot of farm, and that's where the Brood pick fell short last game.
Yeah, definitely fell short in that department. And I mean, it's something we've seen LGD and Tongfu. They both really enjoy that offlane Bounty Hunter. It's been very effective for both teams in the past. We saw it yesterday from LGD. It was a pretty dominant one, I have to say. So I like the ban. Plus, if you look at DK's heroes, they all need some gold. I mean, as far as supports go, Venomancer, Rubik, they need more than most. I mean, most likely one of these, probably the Rubik will be farming, and the Venomancer will be on that support role. But still, you know, Venomancer, you want to max out the Plague Wards. You'd like to ideally get to level 11. That's where you have your level 2 ultimate, and then you do a lot of damage in team fights. And Venomancer being level 11 means your team needs a pipe. I mean, it's pretty much inevitable. Either that or a bunch of BKBs, which none of MUFC's heroes really want to build. These are not normally early BKB heroes. So you mentioned Queen of Pain. We've talked about the Clinks and you know, as well as the OD. These are heroes that we could see picked up coming off the board soon. And it's actually interesting that DK banned out the Morphling here. MUFC have run Morphling before, so it's not a surprising hero to ever see banned because it's also very strong. But it might suggest they want to go for that Anti-Mage, because Replicate can be very aggravating to play against. So you get an Anti-Mage of your own to work with, and Morphling just a generally good hero. So We'll have to see. Still, there's always a Shadow Demon to consider, and he is a real pain as well.
For me, the most surprising thing is that MUFC didn't go for the Enchantress here. It wasn't banned, it wasn't picked up, and that's what they kind of had last game and worked really well for them. I think the only thing that's changed massively is the Windrunner pick, and that's a hero that's hard to gank for an Enchantress, and maybe that was a big concern. Last game they had the Brood that as long as they have Sentries or Dust, they can in fact gank. So this game,
it's gonna be
they don't go for it.
We see the Slardar ban, and I mean, not that you need Slardar to deal with Clinks, but it's a hero that can make life very aggravating for him.
Anti-mage.
So, Anti-Mage is the pick, and we'll see. Does MUFC have a plan in mind, or are they going to think this one through a bit? It looks like they're going to mull it over.
I don't know if they're dead set on the Clinks. I just feel, I mean, Slardar's an annoying initiate. It's similar to the Brewmaster, except he doesn't heavily rely on that ultimate cooldown. He's always going to be able to go in with the blink stun and just sort of tank it up. I mean, I'd compare him closely to a Night Stalker in what he does, and that's something that MUFC don't want to go up against if they've got a Clinks, even an OD, even a Templar Assassin is still in the pool, and Templar Assassin can rip through an Anti-Mage. So,
it's going to be the TA again. Oh, man.
That sort of, you can see partly why their Slardar ban is there. I mean, regardless of which sort of DPS carry they went for, Slardar's an annoying hero to verse, and TA can rip through Anti-Mage. Lich being picked up last for DK, so DK are only worried about lane control. They want to make sure they win the lanes. Anti-Mage can farm. We could see the sort of burning Anti-Mage with the Lich dual lane at mid and going for the fast Battle Fury build, getting heaps of points in stats just for the survivability, but there is just so many strong lanes for DK. MUFC can't win the laning stage, but they do have the slightly better mid-game. Heroes like Lich, Venno, and Rubik maybe going to sort of be a bit squishy and easy to win team fights when you've got a Ravage as well as an Invoker. And Templar Assassin can tear through these heroes very easily. It's going to come down to how well MUFC can cope with the laning stage, I feel.
Godz, I think squishy is the perfect word. It's a pristine choice because everybody on DK is squishy. Even that Anti-Mage is very squishy early on. And that Mono Shield is not going to do anything to help you against Templar Assassin. She is pretty much, in fact, she's all physical damage. There's no magical damage coming from her. Look at MUFC now. If they want to go for a minus armor strategy, they've got the Invoker who has Forge Spirits. They've got Gush, Templar Assassin with Meld. You can get a Medallion on top of it. And even up against Lich, I mean, Frost Armor is nice, but you're not going to have it early. DK, there's this potential for them to just absolutely melt. And, well, this is another bursty hero. Such a... to me, this is just so characteristic of MUFC. They want that burst, they want that aggressive potential early on. Gives them great team fight now. Look at the lockdown for MUFC. You've got Lightstrike Array, the Gush, the Ravage, the Slow from the Templar. A great chasing lineup, a great sort of bursty, team fight oriented lineup. And MUFC could definitely win fights early, whereas for DK, probably going to look to avoid those. But you mentioned the strength of DK in the lanes, and that's what we're going to see right now, is really strong lanes for DK, but a mid-game lineup for MUFC that, if all goes well, will have the potential to kind of brute force DK down. DK needs to hang on to those outer towers, get the Anti-Mage farm as quickly as possible, and just sort of play for the mid to late game.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be all about Anti-Mage for them. I mean, just having him going for that solo split pushing. Just to quickly check, is the in-game audio broadcasting, by the way?
It is.
Okay, I was getting someone just saying it wasn't. I think I think they're telling me because I accidentally joined the broadcaster slot. So it's just people confused. If you see me in the broadcaster slot, guys, I'm not actually broadcasting my audio because LD's the one broadcasting both of our audios. I'm confusing people by joining broadcaster spots, I think is what happens.
Damn you, Godz. No, guys, it's yeah, just change to my channel and you'll get yourself Godz as well as me. So if you want to hear that wonderful Australian accent, it will be available for you. But yeah, it's going to be burning on the Anti-Mage. RTK on the Rubik, which means this will most likely be going mid. And Super looking, normally plays that off lane for DK. Actually, no, sorry, it's going to be... Man, I need more coffee. It's probably going to be Super mid, actually, isn't it?
It depends on how, I mean, whether or not they want to go for the Lich Anti-Mage at mid. That's always a possibility. They could put Super at top. Even the Venno Rubik lane. This is one of those things. DK will run those safe lane dual lanes which don't have a carry hero, even a semi-carry. I mean, Venno Rubik, just giving the farm to the Rubik, getting him fast arcane boots mech. I mean, they do this. I mean, a lot of the Chinese teams will have a dual lane Pugna, like a Venno Pugna lane in the safe lane. Just because Pugna's a squishy hero, he's prone to getting ganked at mid. They'll put him in a safe lane and make sure he can get up the arcane boots mech and give a hero like Anti-Mage who can farm at mid in a dual lane and can just farm wherever he likes later on, the mid lane to start things off with. As
for MUFC, I guess there's some questions about how they'll lane too, because if it's a dual lane mid, which whenever you see a Lich anti-mage is something you have to be concerned about. That's not a good lane for Templar Assassin. I mean, the chasing power with the Frost Nova, the denies as well. Templar Assassin really needs levels. She wants to get her refraction maxed out right away. She needs that ultimate quickly to scout runes, to set up ganks, to decent defensively. You want at least 1 point in meld to escape, and then ideally you'd like to max meld and side blades. I mean, this is a hero that can do a lot of damage early, but needs to keep on getting those levels. It's not like a Night Stalker where you sort of hit 7 and then you're good to just go crazy. I mean, you want to get a little bit more in terms of levels, so you can also contribute in the late game. She doesn't really have that utility of a Night Stalker with the silence. She just has the slows and the damage. So for MUFC, I'll introduce them. It's going to be Net on that support Shadow Demon, headed down to the bottom lane. Nick playing that Templar Assassin. We saw him go solo mid last game, rush a bottle. He's going to do the same thing this time around. Sharky playing that Tidehunter, headed into, might be soloing bottom actually, it looks like. Early Stout Shield picked up, could be farming down there. Lane playing that, looks like the Lina, and will be a support Lina. Big investment early on. Sentry Ward's and Spoke of the Sea picked up. Finally, TFG handling the Invoker, and he just has a lot of stats and 200 gold in the bank.
And over on the DK side, we do have Long DD on the Venomancer. We've got ROTK playing the Rubik. Looks like those two will be dual laning it up at bottom. We've got Lich Zippo starting off in the middle lane, likely to be laning with Burning on his hero, on his anti-mage, playing that hard carry. And finally, Windrunner of Super in the top lane. We will see some poking and prodding in this jungle, both Rubik as well as Venomancer getting awfully close here, but they kind of know the range and that disruption. They'll make sure they don't get caught by one, not to mention Burning. There we go, plants the Observer Ward near the bottom river. He's going to scout this out, and I'm thinking tri-lane bottom with the Tidehunter. They're going to look to shut down, well, it's not the anti-mage at bottom. They were thinking maybe it will be, but this is still a dual lane that they can get a lot of kills on if they get that combo going. With the Disruption, Lina Stun, and a Gush, that is a very dead Rubik, a very dead Venomancer. Whoever they get a Disruption on should, in theory, die as long as they're not overextending. So we'll see Anti-Mage probably having a very good time at mid, just farming away with the Lich support.
No, it looks like it's going to be, at least for the moment, a dual lane mid. They really want to shut down Burning. You know, Shadow Demon is a great hero to do it, but will Burning get the early points of Mana Burn? We've seen him just skip it for large stages of the game, but he's already got 1 point off the bat. I think he was expecting a solo mid. As normally you won't go for that Mana Burn unless you're trying to be aggressive, which is what you would do in a 1v1, or 2v1 rather, but maybe not a 2v2. No, Shadow Demon rotates back down bottom in the end, so it will be that tri-lane. And, well, it's got a lot of kill potential, but if a Gale hits multiple heroes, if Telekinesis is used properly, DK could definitely turn around tower dives. And aside from, even the Tidehunter is pretty squishy early on. I mean, once he gets a point in Kraken Chill, then he gets real hard to kill. But, you know, he can't dive too early. So I think DK will be okay, but they will have to mind their positioning very closely.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where both those heroes are actually good against tri-lanes. The Telekinesis stuns multiple heroes when they land, and you can position the stun. Gale can hit multiple heroes. And I think it's okay as long as Veno and Rubik play as defensive as possible. They can sit back. They've got strong last team, but there we go. The stuns. There's a Sunstrike as well. Sunstrike not going to land. The Gush, this should be enough. He's going to throw a Gale. He's going to go down. There's your first blood. Shadow Demon picks it up, and Venomancer, he got too close to those trees.
Big dive onto TFG. The early Mana Burn slicing TFG up, and that high base move speed of Anti-Mage plus the low base move speed of TFG. Kill acquired for Burning, so Burning strikes back, and well, you know, it'd be nice to have a point in Wex and Quas right now, but of course, this is only a level 2 Invoker. Even if he wanted that, he couldn't have it. TP's back in. Immediately, Burning gets going with the right clicks. Look at the Mana Burn damage, but Burning will be forced back. Tower Focus saving the day, and in comes Net, Sunstrike and Disruption. He won't have a blink for a few seconds, and now the Mana Burn working against Burning. He is out of mana. A couple more right clicks would do the trick, but they don't have enough. In comes the rotation from Ling. Ling wants to stun, completely whipping that because Burning ran back the other way. Oh, the Dragon Slave just missing. One more right click would do it. The boots are up on Net because of that first blood. Nope, the salve used. Burning gonna survive. Oh, that was so close to a kill. Action everywhere. Sharky will drop on the bottom lane. DK gets ahead 2-1, and Burning lives to fight another day. Man, MUFC thought they had that kill. They really wanted it, and they don't get it.
Did that Sunstrike miss with the I feel like the Sunstrike was a tiny bit too early and didn't actually hit on top of the Disruption.
I think it did miss. I think it did.
And, oh, that was so close. I wasn't entirely sure, but it looks like it did. The lane we haven't looked at, Windrun versus Templar Assassins, actually had a lot of action. They've been trading hits constantly. Super. Right now they are. Windrun's popped the Windrun, in fact, to avoid a lot of that refraction bonus damage. And there's been constant attack damage trading here, and this top lane has been full of action as well. I mean, all over the map. Heroes being very aggressive in the laning stage, and that's one of those things. Both teams, I mean, DK, they've got the Lich to control the lanes. They've got a Venom Rubik lane, two great harassers, and then MUFC have the slightly more sort of kill-desiring team where they want to get the kills on the bottom lane as well as try look to shut down the anti-mage farm. So we'll see how they cope with this. Probably just going to look for their next skills on this bottom lane. They're going to need a couple of heroes if they want to sort of roam towards middle lane again.
Look at, oh, as soon as I look away from mid, action there. Sunstrike coming in. Sorry I missed that kill, guys. But Invoker drops again, and oh, he's not having a good time at all. And Burning gets that one too. So look at Burning. 1,400 gold already. Oh boy, this is what you fear when you see that dual lane mid Burning on the anti-mage. 3-1 your score in favor of DK, and the gold graph, the experience graph, both favoring them. Experience especially by quite a bit. They want ROTK. He's level 4. He's getting the levels against this tri-lane. And it's working out pretty well. I have to say all lanes going reasonably well here. Super was doing a lot of damage to Nick. I feel like Nick has the edge here. As if Super ever tries to play aggressively, Nick's refraction really shuts that down. So Super's kind of stuck playing defensively at the tower. We did see him go to check the rune, and, well, they're trading blows. I mean, it's back and forth top. It's going to be hard for either of these heroes to actually get a kill, though. It's just harassment and trading for farm.
And I love this Tranquil Boots food on Super. I mean, it gives him HP regen as well as allows him to
bottom lane, they want RTK. They're going to get him. Will they continue? God, you just cannot talk about anything today if you're casting these games, because as soon as you do, there's a kill. No time for analysis,
Non-stop action.
This is MUFC Dota.
Yeah, MUFC, they love to just use this overwhelming ganking lineups, and that's what we're seeing at this bottom lane. This trial lane is just so powerful. Rubik's going to TP back in. I was just mentioning this Rubik with Tranquil Boots allows him to trade hits really well with Templar Assassin, but Templar Assassin's actually bottle crowing back and forth to bring him additional regen. So both heroes with non-stop sort of regen going their ways, allowing them to constantly trade hits. Winner's going to go probably for that Soul Ring build we saw yesterday with the Tranquil Boots plus Soul Ring combo. And he has picked up the Sage's Mask to do so. So interesting builds coming out, really just adapting to the situation, not just going for the conventional build. And the Tranquil Boots can later on be disassembled to make that mech using that ring. So it's a very cost-effective build.
Yeah, I really like this. It tells you that Super wants to sit in that top lane and get levels and get farm. And we saw last game, DK supporting Cash just didn't have much umph in the mid to late game, but Windrunner is a hero that can give you that. She attacks pretty hard. More importantly, has a lot of good disables. Super Wind runs out. No, a long range disruption gonna hold him in place. Nick, will he get the meld off? He does, but Windrun gonna keep Super alive for the moment. I think he had like a second left there. Oh, looking for net. He's gonna get him. This big dive is costly. Oh, another wind run, but Nick just gets that last auto attack off. For those who don't know, if you use wind run, but the attack has already left the opponent's hands or character, it will still do the damage. You only evade attacks that the animation completes after you start wind running, or before you start. After you start wind running.
Yeah.
Oh, action bottom lane.
Gosh,
as well as the stun, RTK held in place. Oh, he's gonna get. Oh, is he gonna live? The Gale missing. Sharky, no mana left. No, he uses the wand. Instead, they're going to go onto Long DD here, but Long DD actually tanking it up pretty well for the moment. Super TP's in, a very early TP by Super. The dive continued. They get the Venom answer. They want RTK as well. Where's the nuke? Oh, he's got telekinesis now. He can turn this one around, but no! The last auto attack cleaning him up. Super gets the kill. Power shot as well. Lena just escaping with her life, and Sharky's going to go back to farming. 7 minutes in, 10 kills already. You don't really expect this when you see Burning on the anti-mage, but aggression non-stop from all quarters of the map.
Yeah, and I mean, Burning on anti-mage has not really been pressured throughout all this aggression, but MUFC, they're getting some kills, they're getting some decent farm. They did force Windrunner to come in, and meanwhile, Tempo Assassin getting farm of her own at the top lane. So that's the good news there. Windrunner only getting the one kill, missed a kill on the Lena by missing a power shot, so didn't go DK's way that trade, I feel, and especially considering that Tempo Assassin still farming at top. The one good thing is that Burning is having a nice time here. He's gone for an aggressive build. He's not going for the multiple points in stats. He's got 1 in stats, but he's got 2 in mana break. I think he's really enjoying getting some kills on this Invoker and keeping Invoker out of the lane, which you can do with those additional points. Invoker is level 5, 0, 2, and 0. He's had a very tough time. This is 2 games in a row where TFG has just been kept out of it, I feel, at least until the mid to late game stage where he can catch up.
You know, Godz, I think he's just done with that middle lane. TFG is going to head top, and I think Templar's going to go mid now. It looks like TFG is he's tired of the mana burn, he's tired of the Lich nukes, and he's going to go maybe for a gank top, but certainly a lane change from the looks of it. Yeah, looks like it will be a gank attempt. Oh, it's going to be hard to kill RTK. There's a trap on the ground, but good position from RTK. sensing the missing heroes. Gonna stay far back. The ping's coming out. But it looks like RTK in a little bit of trouble here. He should be okay as long as he stays back. But we'll have to see if he does. Over on the middle lane. This is the big downside to those early points of mana burn. Is now Shadow Demon kind of late against you. Oh, they do go for the dive. They get the kill top with that Sunstrike and the trap. And Rubik being denied level 6. This is actually a pretty big deal. There's a lot of spells he would love to steal this game. And I should try that one again. There are a lot of spells he would love to steal this game. There you go. There's your emphasis. But,
oh yeah.
Yeah, being denied that level 6, you know.
I mean, there's the Tide Big Ravage being the one to look at there, but it's unlikely to actually get his hands on that. But just stealing a Disruption, I think, can help out his team a lot. Alina Stun, Dragon Slave, these are sort of
even
nice AoE nukes,
you know?
and
I mean,
stuns.
Refraction's a pretty big spell to steal as well, or the traps. I just feel like no matter what he gets, it'll be decent.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that, and we'll see what he does get. I mean, the trap's some additional thing to micro, but I don't think that's a problem for any of these players here. We'll see Burnting get very close to his Battle Fury, though, at mid lane. He's going to get disrupted up constantly. That just chews through his mana, but with this Perseverance, he has some mana regen to cope with that, and the Disruption, I like this Shadow Demon build. Often you'll see Shadow Demons maxing out the Soul Catcher and Shadow Poison, but he's gone 2 points already in Disruption. He wants the low cooldown to help harass and deal with the anti-mage in the mid-game. So I feel like getting a combo of sort of Soul Catcher and Disruption from here on out will be the way to go.
Dive onto long DD. Look at the damage just melting to Nick. The TP in from Templar Assassin, but Nick is going to dive this. Actually, no, he's just going to run away from the TP, look to escape. I don't think they're going to catch him out. Even with that massive army of Plague Wards, it did not matter. Venomancer just melts instantly. The early phase boots playing big dividends, and Nick is very close to a Blink Dagger. Nick is farming very well. At first, it looked like Super was getting the edge there in the top lane. Burning disrupted up and forced to blink out. But the thing to really keep an eye on is, you mentioned that Battle Fury. It is not far off. Oh, top lane again, going on to ROTK. 2 traps. Look at the pressure from Nick, even when he doesn't get the kills. Forcing constant TPs from DK. It means less support for Burning. It means free farm in the bottom lane. And look at what Sharky has done with that. Already level 7. Arcane Boots picked up and a smoke. Could easily TP it and counter gank if there's a dive mid. Could look to push a tower, and if you try and defend that tower, you'll be in trouble. Oh, it's if MUFC get these fights off correctly in the mid game, they could get completely out of hand. Especially with this early Battle Fury build, Anti-Mage will not be contributing much for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be DK. They're going to have to sit back, avoid whatever kills they can, but playing against a Blink Dagger on Templar Assassin, the Tide Ravage to back him up, it's going to be hard to do so, to actually avoid those fights and sit back. So we'll see Anti-Mage, whether or not he can get the farming and carry potential he needs. He's being constantly annoyed and harassed at mid lane. He's got no mana at this point. I mean, it means the Disruption's not going to harass him as much. He's not too worried about dying. Because he does have full HP, even with the constant harass. But we'll see how fast he can get the Battle Fury.
Here comes the smoke gank. Sharky is revealed on the high ground. I don't think Long DD saw him. No, the paint's coming out. The ward trying to block him off. It's not actually going to do it, though. Light Strike Array misses. Sunstrike hits. Down he goes. Actually, Tidehunter gets the last hit there. And now with Ravage up, with Shadow Demon having those anti-mage illusions to disrupt, they could definitely look to push this tower. And pushing Burning's lane means he is not farming that lane, further delaying that Battle Fury. It's still a very fast timing, and they have to keep him down. As soon as he gets it, they still want to try and go for kills, go for pushes. Nick is getting close to a Blink Dagger as well, and once he gets that, we could easily see MUFC go for some 5-man Dota, and they have a very scary lineup to do so with. Oh, Shackle onto TFG, creep to hero, blinking from Burning. TFG is having an absolutely atrocious game. Oh, the poor guy. I really feel for him. But in we go. Gush Disruption as well. Well, the Lich Hole bouncing through. Oh, not going to bounce. The blink away. Ravage just hitting Zippo and Super, but not in range to chase. And MUFC forced back. A big opportunity blown there for MUFC. That Ravage could have done a lot more. The timing just not quite right.
Yeah, I think they were hoping to get that. And if it hit perfectly, cancelling that blink, but that would have required a bit of luck and some incredible timing on it. So not going to hit the anti-mage as he came out, but still, MUFC have slightly better map control at this point. They're slightly outlaying their opponents. Templar Assassin topping, very aggressive now with the Blink Dagger in. Look at this, Long DD, sorry, unable to defend the T1 tower. He's playing so far back, just planning wards, knowing that one blink in, he doesn't even have boots at this point. So Long DD, why I keep saying Zippo. Long DD having a very tough time. And we'll see how he adjusts to that. It is, in fact, Zippo on the Lich, who doesn't have boots either. And neither here with boots, maybe some on the Courier, but really those two supports on DK, so under-farmed. It's the It's the support on MUFC who are just out-farming them. I mean, you look at Tide with Arcane Boots, Planeswalker's Cloak. He's been farming mostly. Lena, there's Tranquil Boots with a Robe of the Magi. I mean, all these heroes getting decent farm. Shadow Demon, Boots up 1k gold. There's just a big lead for MUFC, I feel, at this point.
Well, there is, but the heroes that are farming on DK are getting massive farm. Look at Super. He's got Phase Boots up. He's just got a Mechanism and a Arena Basilius farm for him. Of course, Bernie with his 13.5-minute Battle Fury. Tower will drop bottom, and Sharky's ult still a minute away from that cooling down. He looks like he'll be working towards a pipe. Still a ways off from that, but this is a game where you need that pipe. You're up against the Windrunner, the Lich, the Rubik, and the Venomancer. A lot of big nuke AoE damage. If they can get the pipe up, it's just going to be the anti-mage who can really deal out damage in team fights.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to need to get his next couple of big items fast, the anti-mage, I feel. I mean, he's got his Battle Fury now. We're looking at 13 minutes into the game and sitting on 250 gold. So he's just got to keep on farming. It's one of those things where a lot of anti-mages, they'll get up a Battle Fury, they'll get up trades and think, oh, look, there's a team fight, let's CP in. It's generally your team need to play as if you still don't have that Battle Fury. The Battle Fury is just faster farming. You need the Manta style. Battle Fury is just a tool to keep on farming even faster than before. And we'll see how DK continue to play this. Templar Assassin, very farmed. Level 12 about to hit. Blink Dagger up, Mithril Hammer. Going to be going for either a BKB or Desolator. Last game it was the BKB first. We'll see if he goes for a more aggressive Desolator here, especially considering he's up against this anti-mage and very defensive DK team.
Yeah, and just look at the pressure from MUFC. It's 2 or 3 heroes constantly in that bottom lane. We saw Shadow Demon looking to set up something mid and just throwing Shadow Poisons out left and right. Templar diving Windrunner pretty aggressively, dropping a really low top. They're just not relenting at all. Now, the one thing they haven't done is knock down too many towers. They've only gotten 2 so far. I feel, especially this tier 1 mid, that's got to be the next objective for MUFC. And Bernie doesn't even have boots right now. He's still very killable, but once he gets up even a power treads or even basic boots, things will get a lot harder in terms of ganking him. Net gets caught out. Disruption to start. Soul Catcher to follow. Net is going to melt, but will they be able to turn this one around? The Shackle only hitting Ling. Tidal this time, or the Lich Ult, this time it'll bounce through. Decently at that, but will it be enough? Zippo running away, and, well, the Ravage hitting on 2. Sunstrike to follow. The Laguna Blade as well. Big overkill there, but they will get 2 kills. And now Sharky on the way out. Super giving chase. Ling using those Tranquil Boots and the move speed to try and get away. One more auto attack. Ledge Stick Array just gonna miss. Actually, I'm not sure if it hit there. Zippo long range Frost Nova, bringing him down, and now the gush on the Zippo. Zippo will pay. Here comes TFG as well, trying to do the right click. Super. Oh, he's getting cold snapped up. He's got one more wind run, but the Deafening Blast delaying that as long as he can. There's no more Sunstrike. There's no mana for it. While this is all happening, Burning just split pushing the perfect response, trying to pressure that lane. One thing to keep in mind, Nick has still not entered the game yet, really. He's just been farming top. He's got a lot of farm. He's gotten a kill or 2, but he has not really begun ganking aggressively, and we'll have to see when he starts to do so. I feel like in these fights, he could easily be picking up 2-3 kills for his team. Especially with this.
Once you get that Blink Dagger. Once you get the Blink Dagger, normally when you see Templar Assassins get involved, but he like you say, it's a couple of kills, and those have just been solo kills in the top lane. He's got his Blink Dagger now, but now he's transitioned to the bottom lane. I think he's just wanted to push Predator on top, and Bernie gets away. He gets followed by the Blink. This is going to be 2 or 3 racks.
Wow!
The minus armor, Gush providing an additional minus 5 or 6 armor, and that is a lot of minus armor combined with the meld.
Yeah, it's -5, as well as, what is that? Yeah, -8, so -13 armor. Oh man, and he's gonna dive Zippo too. Big plays from Nick. One more auto attack will do it. Zippo just gets away. Great reaction on the TP, but I mean, this is the pressure of Nick. It's a lot worse than even a hero like Night Stalker. I mean, some people compare Templar Assassin Night Stalker. She doesn't have a way to cancel your TPs, but just the burst damage is outrageous. That's an anti-mage they picked off. This is not any old hero. One of the hardest heroes to gank in the game. It is the downside of the early Battle Fury, though. It means you're very squishy, immobile, and with no boots up yet. Well, actually, he's got the power treads now, so I think next time around, it will get a little bit harder. Dive onto the middle lane, purge onto RTK and the trap. RTK is barely moving. If he moved any slower, he might be going backward. Shackle shot, gonna hit on net. Latching him to lane, blink in from Sharky. Wow, he's already got a Blink Dagger. Great farm on him. And that's gonna do it, actually, I believe. We'll have to see. They could look to go for round 2. Ravage up in 12 seconds. I believe that's what MUFC is waiting for. And this could be very bad for DK. A Blink Ravage followed up with some right clicks and some nukes. Everybody could melt instantly. I mean, look at LogDD, 750 health. Super does have the mech. That could be the Tide Changer. Chain Frost back up again. Man, Zippo's ult is always up from the looks of it. I feel like whenever I play Lich, I mess with
smoking from behind too.
Oh, this could be
Tide
bad.
and Shadow Demon.
It's a pincer attack, and DK might get caught out here. Just about everyone has been spotted. Sharky looking for the opening. Oh, he gets spotted out. He's going to gush to start. The Soul Catcher hitting on long DD. Blinking. Ravage on 2. Sunstrike to follow. Not even needed. Oh, man, they melted fast, and now that's going to be a tower. Are they done yet? Purge on the Super. Long range Purge. Nick giving chase. Shackle shot. Where's the shackle shot? Super looking for it. He's going to find it. But Sharky has, just an anchor smash. One more blink might do it. How far will Nick dive? Not far at all from the looks of it, but Burning cannot participate in these fights. Pushing bottom instead, while TFG pressures mid or top.
That wasn't as bad for DK as it looked. Sure, you have a massive blink in, Tide Ravage, 2 heroes instantly dead. They lost 2 support heroes. They got Anti-Mage free farming at bottom. They didn't lose the tower, and they're going to get Anti-Mage TPing top now to find another free lane to farm in. So I think that was actually okay for DK. They'd love to have those lives back and not have given up those kills, but they keep their towers up. They didn't really take big losses, and Anti-Mage the entire time was free farming, creep skipping at bottom lane, almost got a T1 tower, but forced a TP back, and that's what sort of saved the T1 mid tower. So I think that's actually an okay trade for DK right there.
Well, look at Sharky, 5-1 and 6 already. He's had some big involvement early in this game, and you got to remember this was an off-lane, tri-lane Tidehunter. The tri-lane didn't stay together the entire time of the laning phase, but he wasn't getting the most experience. But as soon as that the dual lane sort of broke up bottom, that's where he started to get the level, started to get the farm going. And we'll have to see what progresses here because Nick is charging in. He's got the blink. He's got refraction up. He can use it now if he wants to. Oh, he could have gone into RTK, but just drops the trap, and now he's going to blink away. That's going to be the end of it, and all the while burning farm. So, you know, you're right. MUFC got a couple kills. They don't turn it into a tower. They don't kill Burning, and that's the big hero you want to kill. Because now he spent another couple minutes farming, another 600 gold in the bank. And it's only going to accelerate from here. If he wants the Yasha, he's got it now. This is some great farm for Burning.
Yeah, I mean, he just can blink from neutral camp to neutral camp now. He's going to start getting a couple points in that spell shield, which will give him some additional survivability. And, oh no, Templar Assassin just on a warpath at bottom lane. Rubik getting found. Tide Templar, the minus armor combo, and Tide is just inching towards that pipe. Going to give his team a strong push when they have the pipe up. I don't think anyone's actually getting a mech at this point, but I mean, they're up against a Windrunner as well as a Rubik. I feel they may, and I mean, even the Venom ulti, the mech plus pipe combo could be what they want to try break on through, but I think maybe they're just happy to take the late game and not go for that sort of 25 to 30 minute push here.
Well, gods, they're about to have minus 19 armor, which means it's time to go Roshan. And they go, and in fact, the Forge Spirits would give them even more. But the Desolator up on Templar Assassin. Look at Roshan drop so quickly. Oh man, this is going to be a pretty easy Roshan. Now the Forge Spirits come online. And Roshan, actually I guess they don't work on Roshan, but yeah, either way, Roshan going to drop very quickly. That's going to be an Aegis on Nick, and he's already been very aggressive. Now he can be doubly so. Burning, going for the trade, pushing on the top lane. Will he get the tower? It looks like he should be able to unless there's a TP in. There is from Templar, and that is a hero Burning cannot fight toe-to-toe with right now. He will go back. Wow, Nick almost level 16 already. He's going to have those level 3 traps up. That means you can have traps absolutely everywhere, all over the map. We might even see DK forced to go for an early gem, but the question is who would carry it. They don't really have a great carrier for them.
Yeah, I mean, and this is going to come down to the telekinesis and shackle shots have to be one of them. You just need to be ready for the Templar Assassin. You can't just throw them to try look to engage, because if those two spells are on cooldown, Templar Assassin can just go in and absolutely rip people apart. They don't have any 4-stars as of yet. And they just don't have any additionals to disable. So shackle shots need to be lined up, need to be landing on Templar Assassin. Maybe you can't get a kill. Maybe you don't want to, because the focus firing here with Aegis may lose you the fight. But you just need to prevent TA from getting too many kills in these fights.
Well, for DK, I mean, like you said, they're very good at counter-initiating and punishing dives, because they have Chain Frost, they have the Venomancer ult, Shackle Shot, Telekinesis. These are great counter-initiation spells, but if DK ever try to initiate, that's where they're going to run into trouble. MUFC have Ravage, they have, of course, the Exhort Invoker, who's going to do a lot of damage, Cold Snap as well, Disruption on top of it, and the Templar Assassin's Burst, big backstab by Nick, diving in, he wants Zippo to start this fight off, one more auto attack will do it, Shackle Shot, what a Lich ultimate, bouncing perfectly, that's going to get rid of the Aegis, Ravage is used, and that means Sharky can't really do a whole lot. Aegis blown for just the Venomancer, if that's it, it's not a great trade. Nick giving big chase here. He wants super. Shackle shot this time will not latch. The trap not going to hit, but Nick gets another kill. And meanwhile on the backline, Sharky fighting off a couple more supports. They get one more kill. RTK has joined the fight. He wants Ling. A lot of damage onto Ling. Ling will drop from the looks of it. Oh, a couple more right clicks. He will go down. Burning still not ready to fight, but 3,200 gold on him. Wow, that is a lot of bar. It's been like 3 minutes, but they get one more kill onto the Rubik. And that is an absolutely out-of-control Templar Assassin. Still, Burning is the ray of hope for DK, and he is having a lot of time to farm.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, I feel late game, he can just go for the split push. He doesn't have to come into these team fights anyways. Whenever MUFC do like we're seeing now, or they're going at mid, they're going at top, mid, long DD.
Oh,
Two-shotted by the Templar Assassin practice. The first shot did about 2/3 of his HP, and then one more shot finished him off. Wow. A lot of damage here, and basically Antimage just needs to apply pressure to the bottom or top lane. Wherever MUFC aren't pushing, he's managed to get that tier 1 bottom tower. He's got his Manta style up, but even with this Manta, he needs another big item before he can really fight. I mean, and that could be the heart, could be a BKB maybe. I feel BKB against Shadow Demon, Lina, and Tide is going to be the go-to item. If he wants to come to the team fights, if he just wants to keep split pushing, maybe he won't even go straight for the BKB as of yet, until he gets really late game.
If he goes for that, it's not going to help him against the Templar Assassin, though, because all of her, everything that she has, that she brings to the table, will go through that BKB, and she is very reliant on that physical damage, so it's not going to help him in that regard. But that being said, Anti-Mage up to 15 base 13 armor now, as well as that +2 from the... Oh, actually, that was the Reign of Basilius from Super. So yeah, I mean, he's got pretty good armor, but it's still a minus, what was it, minus 19 armor for MUFC, so... It's high armor for Burning. Not sure it's enough just yet, but if he gets something like a butterfly up, then he'll be very difficult to right-click down. But, you know, he's going for the split push. He's trying to sort of delay the inevitable 5-man Dota that MUFC are likely to run, and Sharky pressured in the top lane. I wonder when MUFC are going to sort of flip it into the next gear and go more aggressive. They used an Aegis. Maybe they're going to wait for that next Aegis, but that is 6 minutes for Burning to free farm, so they may look to force something sooner. 4 heroes headed towards top. 1 hero forced to defend bottom. That would be TFG, who's desperately trying to claw his way back into this game. He's got an ultimate orb, a Force Staff, a Phase Boots. Considering his start, this is not bad farm at all for TFG. A lot of this is tower gold, and they really need that Scythe of Vice. Would be so key for locking down Burning.
Yeah, now Burning is just being so efficient and just using his time while blinking from camp to camp and just not wasting any time. He's going to go towards bottom lane. He can put some pressure here on TFG. He blinks in, a couple right clicks, although he does get Cold Snap here. He pops a Manta, and this is just going to be forcing Invoker back. He knows that he can maybe actually take this fight. The Tide blinks in. Oh, this is going to be a big AoE stun. They take out the Rubik almost instantly beyond godlike Templar Assassin. And I don't think Templar Assassin's done. Blink in. Venom Mantis is going to go down. 2 kills there. Anti-Mage has picked up a solo kill at bottom on the Invoker, though. So nice play there from Burning. And MUFC, this is the problem. They don't get a tower. They get a couple kills, but they're killing support heroes. I mean, the only non-support heroes at this point is the Anti-Mage and the Windrunner, really. But they're not getting kills on the Anti-Mage. And Windrunner's staying alive, getting some farm here. But as long as they're just killing 1 or 2 heroes and not getting towers, DK are looking okay. Burning gets the tower. I mean, the tower for those 2 kills, as well as the Invoker kill, DK is going to take that trade any day of the week. So I've got to feel MUFC just need to go all out for that push, or at least start shutting down this Anti-Mage.
Yeah, he cannot be ignored too much longer. He's almost at 600 gold per minute. 4,000 gold in the bank. Oh, blinks away from a haster, in which Lane is going to walk into, and Lane is going to use it to run the heck away. Yeah, but I mean, he's being so efficient. The early Quelling Blade, another great pickup, as you will splash that. It does work with the Battle Fury, so you'll splash that additional Quelling Blade damage. Lets you farm so much faster, push much faster, and that's really how Burning's contributed to this game. He's gotten most of the towers for his team, I believe. In fact, both of them. Both of those towers that were bottom. Super trying to defend the top lane, and well, it seems like MUFC get the pickoffs, but again, they're not turning them into as many towers as they would like. They didn't get the tower top, they didn't get the tower mid for these tier 2s, and that's what they really need to lock down, is get those towers and then go for the next Roshan. It feels like at this point, MUFC are not going to be able to force a fight before then. And I guess I'm not sure if they're going to be able to at all. They got to kill Burning somehow. They can't just ignore him forever.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just hoping that they can just get enough kills on some of these supports that they will be able to take the game regardless. That they can. I mean, Burning, no matter how far they get, he's never going to be able to 1v5, even if he's got a couple teammates alive. If it's 2v5, 3v5, they can't normally win those fights, but he's going to have his supports and utility heroes contribute in some way. So maybe that's what MUFC are relying on, that they can just keep these supports and utilities completely under farm. Rubik doesn't even have a 4-star. Rubik may get picked off here. Purchase, it's another Tide Ravage. It's going to hit 3. And even hitting long DD from behind. Zippo getting hit by Deafening Blast. Big kill there on the Rubik, and that's the hero they want to get. Burning's gone in with the BKB, though. He's going to go looking for more. He takes out Lina, moves on to Shadow Demon. Burning's gone down. Burning's died, and there's no buyback. Lich ulti bouncing around. The Windrunner picks off the Invoker, and the Templar Assassin has gone down. Burning coming in at the right time. He went down himself, but the reliance on his team was not in vain. They pulled through. They got some big kills.
Great blink away by Sharky there. And now the fight's not over just yet. Lina bought back, but Net gets shackled to a tree, and it looks like that's going to be the end of it. So a buyback from Lina accomplishes nothing, basically. And sure, Burning died. He used the BKB chart. They defend not only the tier 2, but, I mean, they win a fight that if they had lost, MUFC is probably getting racks off of that, especially with the Desolator. If they got a couple more kills, that would have been an utterly different fight. It was a good Ravage, but it took so much to bring Burning down. It required a lot of focus fire. Templar Assassin crucially dropped. They still don't have the Scythe of Vice up on the Invoker. And they really need it right now. It seems it's necessary because you have to kill Burning before he gets that BKB up. Or it's going to take too much effort from these other heroes. During which time, these supports, they have a lot of nuke damage. You saw Windrunner pretty good at these prolonged engagements. They can turn around these fights. If heroes drop low on MUFC, which they will. There's Poison Nova, there's Chain Frost. The DK don't need insane DPS to bring these heroes down after those AoE ults go off.
Yeah, I feel a mech on MUFC can maybe help deal with some of that AoE, which caused a lot of damage there. We'll see if they try transition, get a mech up on Lina, Shadow Demon. Even the Titan could afford to buy one now. He's got the pipe and a Blink Dagger. MUFC are going to probably wait for ages here. I mean, they realize the power of DK now, especially Antimates with the BKB. So we'll see if they can, in fact, maybe wait it out till then. But by then, Burning may have another item. If he wants to go for a big item, he can go for the heart. If he wants something more cost-effective, we may see him going for that Vladimir's offering and just providing his team with some additional armor to deal with the Templar Assassin.
4-staff in, cold snap as well. Oh no, Lina uses the ultimate on a creep. Oh, that's unfortunate. And RTK now going the other way, pulls up TFG, he's shackled to a tree. Venomancer ult, but the defensive disruption. Ravage is up, I believe. No, 17 seconds to go. Still, they get long DD. They're going on to Super. Super barely moving at all. That's a lot of slows, and Super in a lot of trouble as well. What a shackle by Super, and it looks like he might get away. Great escape from him. Burning still has the BKB. Uses the Manta just to try and delay this push. Now the Ravage is up, but there's no mana for it. Sharky doesn't have the mana for the ult, let alone for the Blink Ravage combination. Will DK notice? If they do, they could maybe look to fight here. But for the moment, it looks like they will sit back. Burning immediately goes bottom. Starts pushing that lane out. Oh, the blink in the initiation onto RTK. Cannot quite kill him. Shackle shot, latching two heroes together. Power shot to follow. DK not going to engage it. Oh, they are! The Chain Frost going in. Sharky dropping really low. He's got the blink in 1 second. Will he blink away? He does blink away. Super surging from Burning gets him with the ultimate. Big pick off for Burning. And will he continue to chase? Not sure if he will. He is going to. Oh, Burning diving in mid. Once more kills. Cannot overextend though. Nick still does a lot of damage here. Burning gonna just right-click the creeps. They're looking to push down the tier 1. And with Tidehunter dead, he doesn't have buyback. There's no Ravage. DK are gonna force the issue. They may get 2 towers here, if not more. Tower melting quickly. The glyph is used very early. Shackle again onto Net. Holding him in place. Net gonna be 4-staffed away. Put the blink in from Burning. The disruption, as well as the Manta illusions. Anti-mages everywhere on the Dire as well as the Radiant, and Nick chasing down Venomancer, but now he's actually running for his life because Bernie is chasing him. Meld up. Do they have detection? I don't think they have any. The meld has barely been used defensively in all this game, and Nick will survive. Tidehunter respawning in 10 seconds. Still, DK survived. They get a tier 1. It's looking slowly but surely. It feels like DK are gaining control over this game, but here's something that could change it up, gods. Roshan is back up. And MUFC are going to make a go at it. And I think my Dota just crashed.
It just goes to show they're relying heavily on this Titan. It did quickly DC. Just while you're gone, they are in fact going for the Roshan attempt at the moment. And it looks like there isn't going to be much of a contest. Antimate sending in illusions, but it looks like he's going to let Roshan go. MUFC are going to get it without a fight. And we'll see. Are you going to be reconnecting pretty soon, or should I ask them to pause the game?
I mean, if you wouldn't mind asking them to pause, that'd be great, but I don't want to force the players to pause if they don't want to. I am reloading Dota, guys. Sorry about that. My Dota just crashed. I am reconnecting into the game any second now. Dota is booting up now.
Alright, we'll quickly pause here. Nothing too much has happened.
Okay, I am reconnecting.
For those of you on the live stream though, and not much has been missed except a uncontested Roshan. DK actually scouted it out with the anti-mage illusions, but weren't in position to go. Only anti-mage was nearby, so there we go. Are you ready? You've reconnected, it said, but whether you're actually in isn't maybe another matter.
I am back in.
And I feel that MUFC, they're relying on the Tide Ravage. As soon as Tide went down there,
yeah, there's nothing
as soon as Tide went down, yeah, exactly. They didn't want to engage on mid lane. They just watched the tower go down. Templar Assassin, Templar Assassin was lucky to live there. Only because they had no sentries or dust did Templar Assassin actually survive. But that was just a bad fight for MUFC, and they were lucky they didn't take bigger losses. If they lost TA there, if they lost another hero or two, they saved Shadow Demon with a 4-star. It would have been an Aegis maybe for the Anti-Mage, possibly a tier 2 tower as well, and a really bad fight. So MUFC need to be careful and need to only fight when they've got the Ravage and have Tide in positions where he won't get picked off.
DK, for the moment, it is the split push for Burning, who's opted for a Basher here and wants to be able to go toe-to-toe a bit better with the Templar Assassin, although he's already doing a great job that. Tier 2 will go down bottom. Will MUFC back off? Like godz mentioned, they did pick up the Aegis. Is going once again onto the Templar Assassin. Burning, looking for the Tier 2. He's going to get the TPN from Sharky. Sharky losing all his mana just about instantly to those illusions. Cannot give chase. And DK are fine with this. They get a Tier 2 trade, and the Roshan's already down, so it's not like losing that Tier 2 bottom is that big of a deal. They don't really... The map control's not going to matter for having that Roshan access for the next 10 minutes, by which point, if this game goes on another 10 minutes, I feel there's nothing that they'll be able to do. Oh, initiation onto RTK, but Bernie is here, and they don't actually have the Invoker. This could be a lot of trouble. Blinking from Burning. Everybody melting. The Aegis gone once. I don't see Templar living again, and I'm guessing they probably have detection. Poison Nova used preemptively. Yeah, there's your detection. Nick is not going to escape this time. And they fight without the Invoker, and they are punished heavily for doing so. And it looks like godz is currently away. So, yeah, we have some aggressive wards down for MUFC, but these just don't do anything for them right now. I mean, they're the ones that are on the defensive. They're on the back foot. Burning is getting out of hand in a hurry. 3,200 gold in the bank. If he wants to go for Heart of Tarask, he could get that Reaver now. If he wants a Butterfly, he's got the Eagle Song as well. If he wants an Abyssal Blade, it's... I'm not sure it's the optimal item, as Burning does not have too much attack speed now, but if he wants to go for one, it's certainly an option. Any other way, if he needs to save for buyback, which would be a smart choice as well, whatever Burning wants to do, the option is there. With that fight going DK's way, it means at least another minute or two of additional farm time. And look at Burning CS already. I say it before I even open up the scoreboard, but you know, 10 CS a minute, 358 creeps secured for him, and now he's just going to play extremely aggressively. There's nothing that
he can afford to now.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do.
I mean, if Super keeps hitting these big shackle shots, I mean, that shackle shot locking down Templar Assassin last fight is crucial, and all throughout this game, some amazing shackle shots by Super. DK, Burning picks up an Abyssal Blade now, so he's going for the full Abyssal Blade. It does chew through more of his mana pool, so it's something that he does have to be careful of, especially if he gets disrupted in a team fight. Basically, he has to blink away when he gets disrupted, unless he wants to have all his mana drained. He actually did that last fight where he just blinked away and left his team to finish killing the Templar Assassin. It didn't matter, but when Tide is in these fights, he can't afford to be blinking out and leaving his team to fend for themselves. So we'll see how he tries to deal with some of those illusions of his own. But with the BKB, he's going to hopefully not get disrupted up.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to point out here is, I mean, we're seeing the huge item pickups on Burning. For Nick, there's just no item progression. He's 13-2-3. Compare that to Burning. He's 7-2-1. Nick is 2 levels behind. And this is, you know, this is not easy mode. I mean, ultimately, that farm is going to mean a lot more than kills. You know, you need probably 20, 25 kills to actually keep pace with a Battle Fury anti-mage. I mean, as well as Nick has played, this is one of Templar Assassin's weaknesses. She's a really great semi-carry. She's great for these ganks, but in these larger scale team fights, to deal with a farmed hard carry, she's not going to be able to do it by herself. She's really not. Oh, 4-staff in, they won, and 4-staff away. Some shenanigans here from MUFC. They will live to fight another day. But yeah, I mean, Nick just, there's been no item progression, and I can't stress how important that is. In fact, the only item progression I've really seen for MUFC is TFG has picked up a Scythe of Ice, but at this point, it's just so late.
It's still something for the Anti-Mage, and I mean, we'll see Templar Assassin. I mean, I guess maybe a Mantis. I don't know what comes next. I mean, even something like an Assault Crest for the Aura, but they're going to try force it at mid. They've got the Tide Ravage. Tide just sitting in the trees there with a Ghost Scepter now to help deal with that Anti-Mage, so if he sends illusions to Mana Drain him, he can just pop the Ghost Scepter even for the Manta illusions. Anti-Mage, he's still top, he's still pushing away, flies himself out, I believe, a TP. We can actually get to that fight. That's pretty crucial for him, but I think this tier 2 tower may be sacked by DK unless they see a good opening, a good shackle shot coming from Super, but the glyph is being popped, so it looks like they want to maybe go for this. Anti-Mage coming from behind, going to go for that backstab, big shackle shot. There we go, BKB cannot be popped, and down goes Templar Assassin. This is going to be a bad fight right off the bat for MUFC. They buy back with the Templar Assassin, but Templar Assassin still can't be back in the fight yet. Tide, he's used the Ravage. Anti-Mage's going to pick up his second kill of the team fight. Templar Assassin is back, but already the fight is won for DK. Super is true to his reputation, pulling off some amazing shackle shots this game, and I think this could be a bit of a comeback now for DK. They were looking to be in a tough position, but they have pulled things around, and DK's Burning is looking to carry this game for them.
Yeah, but it's really Super that's setting everything up. Every fight that DK has had for the past 10 minutes is initiated with a 2-hero shackle shot. It's at least 3 or 4 fights now where that's happened. But Blink onto the high ground, Burning once TFG, he's not going to find him, but does a lot of damage anyway. And well, MUFC, even when the Tide Hunter respawns, there's no Ravage, so it's going to be very hard for them to defend this push. Burning another 3,200 gold in the bank. If he does die, he can buy back. Definitely Blast slowing things down for the moment. The Trap as well. But a Templar Assassin who can't initiate is not very useful. An immediate bash onto Nick. Actually, I think that was the Abyssal Blade. It was, and down he goes. Shackle shot flying out, not going to hit TFG, but Burning slices his way through this barracks. And I don't think they're going to stop with one. Disruption coming out. Anti-Mage will be forced to blink away. He blinks away. As soon as those illusions die, if DK won, they can go back in. They probably want to try and get this melee Rex while that Ravage is down. I'll blink back in from Burning. Is he going to go? Ling pulled back in by telekinesis. Shackle into again. Super with the big 2-hero shackles all game. Blink ahead for Burning. Another disruption. But even the disruptions are only delaying the inevitable here, as Burning should be able to right-click on the Rex, losing almost all his mana. That might be a bit of an aggravation for him. In fact, he's gone. There's all the mana. It is gone. But you don't need mana to right-click the Rex, and that's what Burning is currently very happy to do. Tide just not able to do anything. I mean, like you said, they're reliant on the Ravage, but they also, it's not enough anymore. The burst damage just isn't there. It's null field, it's a pipe, it's a mech up. DK just have that survivability they need.
Yeah,
actually, there's no fight. But Shackle onto TFG.
Oh.
TFG gonna get caught
Another
again.
shackle.
Wow, Super. The ult flying out from Lich. Oh, he dodges it with the Ghost Wall, but immediately a Sentry Ward is dropped down, and Invoker will die. And with those 3 heroes dead, as well, Sharky likely to fall next. Burning coming into... Where is Burning away? He actually TP'd bottom to farm in the middle of this engagement. Wait, did he die and buy back? No, I think he TP'd bottom. Okay, Sharky gonna get picked off, and now I think DK will go for more of a push. No, Burning just gonna farm. I don't think this is necessary, but he's gonna continue to farm.
5-man TP back, all going top for now. Well, 3 going top, and we will see Burning continue to farm. He's picked up something big. What has he got? Butterfly is going to be coming up now for Burning. He's bought the 2 other pieces now, and with that, he is going to be a bit of a beast in these fights. He's got level 25. He's maxed out. And, I mean, there's nothing really, no more improvements. He might want to sell the Battle Fury if he's not worried about having to defend some big creeps here and then get something like a heart. But for the most part, his items are completely maxed out. Probably actually Boots of Travel, selling off those treads for a late game scenario. But for the most part, this is a lot of farm. Super with 6k gold is going to buy a complete sheep stick almost. Actually, no, what's he doing? He's going to buy a Mystic Staff. There we go. Yeah, he's got enough for a sheep stick. So just item progression all over on DK. One big fight. I mean, there's 3.5k gold even on Rubik. All their heroes just getting up some big items. Ghost Scepters all around. Venomancer with Treads, Drums, 2.4k gold. Just a huge swing going DK save. They're suddenly up by 15k gold. I mean, that is just in over the time of 10 minutes. They've just turned it on.
Oh, Burning. Sending in those Manta Illusions to scout things out. Been doing it. It's really nice to see that from him. He's been doing it all game long. In fact, they disrupt an illusion, so now they have 4 anti-mages of their own, as Rubik did steal that disruption. But it looks like it's just going to be a scout, not actually a commitment to a fight. And DK is going to continue to farm. When DK want to go for this push, when they want to go for the high ground for the Rex, they can do so. They've already gotten 1 lane pushed in. Burning is unstoppably strong. The Rubik is pretty big as well, and I mean, with the Blake Dagger and the Force Staff now, RTK has a great chance at stealing Ravage. He can wait until Ravage is used, stay very far back, immediately blink in, and have a good chance at grabbing it. And he doesn't need to steal Ravage anyway. We've seen Disruption is great, all of Invoker spells are useful, even stealing some of the Templar Assassin spells to keep you alive. I mean, there's so many good things for him to steal, as well as the Telekinesis, just being great initiation here. Setting everything up for DK. It's not a Ravage, but it's the next best thing, I suppose. So, in we go, 5 heroes for DK, grouped up bottom, going to push, but of course this is burning, so he's going to take that extra 3 seconds or so to farm that Ancient stack, instantly wiping it out. Burning, perhaps it's only burning, as many great hard carries as there are in the Dota scene today, that would make sure to farm that camp before the push commences. Actually, they're not going to go for a push, they're going to go for Roshan and then look to push.
Yeah, and this Aegis, I don't even know if Burning's going to take it up. I don't think he's too worried.
No,
I mean,
I don't
he
think so.
might. I mean, he'd have to drop something like his Treads or sell his Battle Fury, but for the most part, I think he's just going to be happy to give it to some of those supports who are sort of at risk in these team fights. Heroes like Rubik as well as Venomance, but they're not worrying about Roshan. They're going to look to engage on in. Look at Burning go.
Another shackle!
Another 2-hero shackle shot. Ravage. It does hit the BKB, the Burning, whose BKB is one off, but I don't even think it's going to matter. Lich ulti bouncing around, hitting 2 to 3 heroes multiple times, and this is going to be the end for MUFC. Ghost Scepter keeping Tide alive a bit longer. Burning just pops the ultimate. He doesn't want to wait, and he's going to blink ahead, chase after Lina as well as Invoker, both who will probably go down. Invoker popping the Ghost Walk may survive this if the dust and sentries are too far away. There we go. Veno dusts it up, and they will finish off MUFC's TFG. GG is called. Burning too damn good at carrying games with anti-mage, I've got to say.
It's DK's comfort zone. It's having Burning on the anti-mage, and having that, I mean, even, it's not just the anti-mage, it's also Super's Windrunner. It's just a hero that DK know how to use. They play it well. It wasn't just the shackle shots, it was the landing stage as well. Super did a great job against TA. TA had the advantage in that lane. Seemed like overall was doing a bit better in the 1v1, but Windrunner did not die. She held onto the tower. She got the early landing items, built the mech quickly for the team. As well as Bernie has played, and as many spectators as who are likely saying Bernie is too good at anti-mage, I feel like Super was the big difference maker in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Without those shackle shots, Bernie may not have gotten the opportunity to get as far as he did. This is game number 2 of DK versus MUFC. DK take game number 2, tie the series up 1-1. We'll be heading into game number 3 momentarily. This is the Beyond the Summit. Oh man, I'm forgetting the tour. It's the Beyond the Summit World Tour. World Tour. We'll be coming back with game number 3 soon, guys. Don't go anywhere. God, I need that coffee.